I'd like to call on Peter Moran of Abbvie, Ireland. He's going to chat about the journey to 50,001 and how that's enabled them to reduce their energy footprint.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Peter Moran. I'm the Energy Manager at Abbvie Ireland, have overall responsibility for energy and utilities on site. So, as reference, I'm going to talk about our energy management programme, our reduce energy footprint programme within that, and I suppose also about ISO 50001 and how it's been so important for Abbvie in our energy management journey. Okay. So just a quick background on Abbvie. We used to be Abbott Ireland Pharmaceutical Operations. We're part of the Abbott group, and back in 2012, Abbott split into Abbott and Abbvie. So I worked for Abbvie Ireland. I worked for Abbott for 2 months before the split happened. I suppose quick side history there. We're an API and drug product plant down in Sligo, focused on potent compounds of full containment. And I suppose we've had rapid growth over the last couple of years. We've had a major expansion to the site, so that shows, I suppose, the footprint before and after. The expansion was completed in 2014, and we've introduced some new drugs as a result of that, and new products as a result of that expansion. So effectively, we doubled the footprint of the plant on site. We had an official opening last year with a big celebration. We had Rick Gonzalez, our CEO and President, and our Taoiseach Enda Kenny came down, and we celebrated the official opening of the overall expansion. Okay, so Abbvie in itself is has a patient-centered growth strategy, and that looks to advance the pipeline. And this year, we're very excited. We've launched a new drug out into the marketplace. It's a cure for hepatitis C, and that has the potential and probably will be a blockbuster. So that's, I suppose, the biggest thing that has happened for site in the last year. We also are looking to build capacity for existing drugs, but we also want to reduce the carbon footprint, and we are focused on cost reduction for new drugs and for the existing commercial products that are there. So I guess, although we're going through an aggressive growth strategy, we want to do that in a sustainable manner. So how do we do that, or what are the key drivers behind that? Well, sustainable energy management is one of the methods we use to do that, and it's a key one. We want to grow the business in a sustainable manner, and we've set ourselves as a corporation and locally at site a reduction target of reducing the carbon footprint by 20%. That's the official target. We actually want to and are confident that we'll get to 30% by 2020. Okay. We want to reduce our overall energy costs and improve energy efficiency, and as I mentioned, reduce the CO2 footprints through sustainable development and use of resources, and while we prioritise the needs of the wider environment and community and society. So on site, we have an energy management team. The energy team, we have an ISO 50001 standard, and we have a team that operates throughout that standard. I'm the energy manager. It's a multidisciplined, cross-functional team. We have people from site services, EHS, our plant support engineers, i.e. our maintenance people, reliability. We have champions from our manufacturing areas, such as drug product, Syntroid and API, IT, our maintenance excellence planner, the utilities champions, and also from finance and purchasing. So as I said, it's a cross-functional, multidisciplinary team, carefully picked to make sure that we have the right representatives on the energy team. Okay? And of course, they're not the only people. The energy team are the only people that enable us to deliver energy management. It's everybody on site. So that's a snapshot of the people on site at Abbvie. But we also do it through stakeholders and collaboration. I suppose at the centre there is Abbvie. That includes Abbvie on site, but it also includes our peers within the manufacturing network. We have 12 manufacturing network sites within Abbvie, but also our peers within corporate. We have a corporate energy management programme. We're very well represented within that programme. We collaborate and benchmark and communicate with all the people within Abbvie and the corporate energy management programme. The Sustainable Energy Authority of Ireland, very important stakeholder within our overall programme, as we are a member of the Large Industry Energy Network and we participate in the Better Energies scheme. Okay. Certification Europe, very important for our overall programme. Abbvie were the first, in Sligo, were the first company in Ireland to achieve ISO 50001. And I always say that you know, when it comes around to audits or throughout the year, let it be surveillance or research, you know, the auditors come in. We have Dermot particularly and Ian Boylan. And I always say it feels like an audit at the start of the day and it feels like an audit at the end of the day. But in between, it's really focused on, you know, how can they work with us to identify opportunities for improvements. And we really actually enjoy when they come and help us to continuously improve our overall programme. At the end of the day, yeah, it's definitely an audit, and if there are issues, and we've had minor non-conformances, and we've dealt with them, you know, and continuously improved them and eliminated them. But Certification Europe have been very important for our overall programme. Another company, Agility Knowledge Management Solutions, they're a company that have done a lot of work for us, taking projects, I suppose, identifying opportunities for improvement and taking them from conception phase all the way through to project management, design, project management and construction management, and for measurement and verification. EFT Energy, last year we took our legacy energy monitoring system and upgraded it to I suppose, a best practice, modern, cloud-based energy monitoring system. And that has actually allowed us to go to the next level within our programme, and we're going to go to a higher level again going forward. It'll actually allow us to continuously improve how we monitor our significant energy users and our MPIs within the ISO standard. Okay. Electric Ireland, they are currently our utility providers in electricity, but we work and collaborate with Electric Ireland a lot on our overall energy costs, and they consult with us on you know, our energy management programme in general. Caller, likewise, another utility provider. So I suppose the key fuel on site for us is LPG, so we're doing a lot of work with them. We're also members of the American Chamber of Commerce and IBEC. I think my question there earlier referenced that we were lucky enough to participate in contributing to the, I suppose, the various papers in energy policy going forward. And you know, we're based in Sligo. I suppose key things of interest to us in the northwest are wind energy. I suppose the PSO levies and the various tariffs on the electricity, and the lack of natural gas infrastructure. So we were able to get our input into the various papers on those particular topics. Board Mona, again, I suppose it was mentioned earlier about the obligation scheme. They're a collaborator and a stakeholder with us, and they provide funding and technical support for our energy management programme. So that's very valuable and will be going forward. Okay. What sort of received benefits do we get from the programme? I suppose there's tangibles and intangibles. Cost reduction, carbon footprint reduction, increased energy efficiency, and also I'm going to talk about some projects that we've installed that have increased our heat and chilling and compressed air capacity. And the intangibles, by installing some of these projects, we've enhanced our security of supply and enhanced or reduced our business continuity risk. Okay, we've created new innovations. And one that doesn't get mentioned often is that by delivering continuous improvement, it provides motivation and knowledge dissemination within Abbvie, Ireland and Sligo, but also within the overall network. By sharing the innovations and the best practices, you know, it continuously provides motivation to, I suppose, to keep the energy management story going. And obviously it assists sustainable development. I suppose our reduced energy footprint programme has delivered annual savings of €500,000, 1.1698 tonnes of CO2 and 6.5 gig of energy. Okay. And these are some of the key projects that are part of the overall programme. And they're almost chronological there in how they've happened. Okay, so LPG fuel, low pressure hot water. This is a project that converted our steam-based heating system to LPG fuel, low pressure hot water. But it opened the door for various innovations, such as heat recovery from our thermal oxidizer, and installing a heat pump that will take waste heat from our cooling tower water and provide heat back into our low pressure water. And we've also installed high efficiency compressors and dryers. Okay. And that's a sample of one of the projects there. I don't think time is going to allow me to elaborate too much on it there, but that's the heat pump and chiller project. Okay. We've been successful or nearly successful in some of the awards we've applied for. We won a Chambers Ireland award for the heat recovery project, and we were finalist in a number of awards last year, and we finished in the top 3 for the Ambition Award in SAI last October. Thanks to anyone in the room that voted for us. Okay. How do we do it? It's a process-driven approach from ideation through to concept development, basis of design, design review, execution, and verify and sustain. But it's all done through the ISO standard. We've heard references to the PCDA approach, and that is a key component. And I would agree that it happens in a spiral effect rather than a circular effect. So plan, do, check, act from the policy all the way around to continuous improvement are important. The planning, obviously within ISO 50001, is key. How do we identify and select opportunities for improvement? Okay, so all our ideas, let them be from suggestion schemes or coming from external stakeholders, are put through our energy project rating system. So we look at the benefit and the effort as a team, as an energy team, and we select the projects. Okay. What are the benefits? Why should we use 50001? So this is a classic graph. You know, you identify improvements, you get improvements are complete, they're maintained for a while. This is similar to the ad hoc approach. Over time, the improvements decline. There's two things that happen. Over time, the improvements decline, or they're maintained and you get continuous improvement. And for us, we take the latter approach. And why? Because of ISO 50001 energy management. Okay? Verifying and sustain is key, and determination by the energy manager and myself, by the team and everyone on site is very important to make sure that's maintained. You know, we're a very busy site. We have an aggressive growth strategy. There's a continuous competition for resources on site. So you need those resources. We need determination to maintain the gains. Okay. This is one of the innovations we also have used. We call it the green sheet. This is a weekly check sheet that the energy team go around and to monitor for M&V and for M&T, go around weekly and monitor key parameters, walk the site and see, it's a snapshot of the right things in place to make sure we maintain the energy improvements. Okay. We're not going to stand still, so there are future benefits to the programme, and we've already identified new innovations in 2015 that will deliver us more CO2 reduction, more cost improvement, and obviously assists us in sustainable development. So moving on, the programme is extended to deliver future projects such as air handling units, dehumidification, free cooling and heat recovery, lighting controls that will deliver an additional 297,000 in annual savings and 865,000 kilograms of CO2 reduction. We're also looking at wind energy. We're also completing a feasibility study on natural gas to the northwest to our site. We're installing a new thermal oxidizer this year. The previous one was kerosene fuel. This one it'll actually has the potential to take 3 fuels, and 2 of those will be LPG and natural gas. Staff engagement and motivation and knowledge dissemination are obviously future benefits we can receive. That's our wind mast. We have our wind mast up at the moment there. We put it up last December. So over this year, we'll measure the potential for wind energy in Sligo. I think it's a no-brainer. We're going to have lots of wind energy in Sligo. Anyone that's been to Sligo, we get our fair share of it. Okay. I suppose I'm going to close on this slide here. So you know, this is a classic slide. I suppose it's the slide. What would happen if you didn't have it, you know? And I presented this one to corporate last October. If we stop doing it, our energy footprint is going to grow. If we continue to do, you know, the journey that we're on through the programme, we're going to get gradual decrease in the energy footprint on site up until 2020. And that's my presentation.
Thank you very much indeed, Peter.